Best AI tools for real estate agents out there. I've got about 10 today that I'm going to go through with you all today. As mentioned, my name is Jerad Larkin. I'm a sales rep with Chicago Title. So what are we going to cover today? Let's see. That's me. This entire slide deck was made with AI, by the way, last night in about 60 seconds. And we're going to cover this too. So I'm Jerad. I'm with Chicago Title. Here's the deal. I'm a sales rep. But really, the way I describe my role at Chicago Title is at the end of the day, whether or not you work with us, we'd love to work with you. And the way that we are differentiating ourselves in this space beyond just being the largest title company in North America is we've got an amazing sales team at Chicago Title that's helping real estate agents grow their business. That's what I pride myself on doing. I know a lot of you in this room already help you a lot with your marketing. I always say I'm a marketing consultant that sells title insurance. It's just the truth. So at the end of the day, we'd love to work with you. We're going to provide value. I think now more than ever is a time, if you're not working with us, where if you're thinking about, how we can help you get those listings sold or unique ways on to help you with your business, I'd love to have a conversation with you because we're doing some cool things, right? Whether it's helping Andrew get his listing in front of the top 5 markets moving to Denver, Colorado, or other things in creative ways to get your listing out there. So would love to chat. Today, this class is on AI, teach a bunch of different classes. Like I said, everything I do, I practice what I preach. I do in my business, you're in sales, I'm in sales. We all work off commission. We've got to make money. We've got to do the right thing. And I love sharing all this information. So today's AI, we are going to move fast. So like I always say with this class, treat it like it's a buffet. We're going to cover a ton of material, maybe just keep 1 or 2 things because I'm going to share a wide variety of things and I don't know where you're at in your AI journey. So let's start right there. By show of hands, who here, please raise your hand if you have just used some sort of large language model such as ChatGPT. Can you please raise your hand real quick? Okay, so just pretty much everyone. Okay, cool, so we're past that. All right, next question. How are you using a large language model for your whatever, personal life, real estate business? Any volunteers? Usually the first answer is listing descriptions.
To synthesize or expand upon information.
Perfect. To synthesize or expand upon information visually, I like it. Okay, anyone else?
I use it to sort of proofread or edit just almost anything I'm sending that's important.
Emails?
Second set of eyes, emails.
Text?
Some text, yeah.
Okay.
But also if I, for my, at home, we're dealing with an insurance claim that's a nightmare. And
yeah.
So I use that a lot to
upload some documents.
Yeah, upload some documents and it summarizes it for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started using the Grok Imagine.
Cool.
To mess with photos. My kids love it.
Yep.
They're like, make me jump off this boat or whatever. It's fine. So, but it's crazy how fast
it's moving fast, right? And thank you for sharing. The bullet train is left. Either get on it or don't, but truthfully, I mean this in the nicest way possible. You're going to get left behind. So I think the agents that are leaning into it more and more every day are going to just be more efficient. That's the way I see everything that I'm doing with, I want to be more efficient. How can I get more done, get more time back? Or is there things that I can do that now I can kind of automate out, which we're going to talk about today, or more easily pass off to someone else on my team, such as say my assistant or virtual assistant, have them now implement those tasks that are not my best, hourly time spent in my day-to-day business. So without further ado, we're going to talk about ChatGPT, right? This is usually the main large language model that people are using. It's the most commonly used. It's I believe, the most downloaded app right now that people are using. So whether or not you're using it, cool, we're going to talk about it. Large language models, LLMs. Think of it, Grok, ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Claude. The list goes on. There's a lot of them. Gemini, right? Here's my take on it, guys. They're all great. They're all competing for users. They're all constantly improving. My take on it is this: in our everyday lives, for what we're using them for, I think just pick one. They're going to do a great job, okay? But they're constantly, it's like a circle. They're constantly, this one's now the best. Now this one's now the best. For example, earlier this year when I was teaching this class, I was using another large language model called Claude. And that's what I was utilizing. And now I'm back using ChatGPT, right? But what happens with these, they've gotten smart, is they become sticky because they start to learn about us. So today we're gonna focus on ChatGPT, but this can probably be applied to whatever large language model you are using. It's just setting it up properly, signing it in, creating an account, and then making sure that you customize it so that it understands who you are, okay? So ChatGPT, quick overview, because sometimes we don't even realize all of this stuff is here. This is ChatGPT on our computer. First things first, there's a free account, then there's the plus account, and then there's the $200 account, okay? The first question I get asked is, should I upgrade? The answer is, if you are constantly getting shut off by ChatGPT saying, hey, come back tomorrow, it's probably time for you to upgrade, all right? Currently, right now, it's $20 a month to upgrade to Plus. In my opinion, for how much I use this thing, it's worth every penny. I don't even Google things anymore. I'm just past that now. I rely on a large language model to get all of my results. Another thing to think about, class coming soon, is how do you appear on ChatGPT? Because as human behavior shifts, more and more people are going to be using their preferred LLM, and the numbers just show ChatGPT. The question for you is, how do you pop up as the go-to real estate agent in your area on ChatGPT? Class coming soon on this, all right? But it's important. Next up is, let's talk about setting it up. First of all, just sign in so it can learn about you, it can store memory. By the way, if you're ever using it and you want it to store memory on you, you could say, hey, by the way, moving forward, right? This is what I do. I'm Leslie, I work in the Wash Park area, and this is the type of home buyer or home seller I work with. You could store that in there. It will now, moving forward, know that about you because it has live memory, all right? In addition to doing that, bottom left corner after you sign in, a lot of people don't know this is here. I always share this in all these classes. You can click on your profile name and you can choose the option that says customize ChatGPT. There's 5 questions in here. They're pretty basic. First one is, what should ChatGPT call you? What do you do? What personality should ChatGPT have? What traits should ChatGPT have? And anything else ChatGPT should know about you? Take the time to answer these. If there's one key takeaway from today and you're using ChatGPT, just do this and you will be much more successful with getting better results that are curated to you and who you are in your business by filling this information out. Because with these large language models, I kind of think of them as like, right, you get it, it's fresh out of the box. They're kind of programmed to respond certain ways. And maybe if you've kind of used these for a while, you've kind of seen that starting out, they have these curated responses that kind of look like AI wrote it. We're trying to get off of that path so that's more written and curated to you and how you talk and speak and write, okay? So fill out customized ChatGPT. Fastest way to do that is to use ChatGPT to fill out these questions on ChatGPT, right? So just copy and paste them into ChatGPT, provide some information on who you are, whether it's a website or a document, right? So then it can curate that, give it back to you, copy and paste that in here, all right? Number one takeaway that I would do if you're gonna remember anything from this class. Next up. No, free version as well, customized ChatGPT. Within your settings, just so you know, guys, there's all these settings in here. A lot of this stuff should be on. Memory, this is what I was talking about before. Memory should be turned on so you can talk to it and say, hey, remember this moving forward, and then it will store that for you. Because we're trying to break it away from just kind of the out-of-the-box mode, so it's gonna talk more like you. Next up, left-hand side, working our way down. Always start new chats. Don't just keep a continuous chat on on a million topics. Always start a new topic. Next down is library. If you find yourself starting to create image content within ChatGPT, it's going to store these images in here. At the beginning of this year, ChatGPT was terrible at creating images that really looked realistic, as well as getting text and spelling properly. They have massively improved that. I would say 95% of the time, I am there with getting my images finalized. I use a lot of image creation for videos, for thumbnails. I do it directly right out of ChatGPT, all right? If I don't like my thumbnail, I tweak it in Canva. Who here is using Canva? Solid chunk of us. Who here is using the Canva AI? None of us? Okay, we're gonna cover that today. That's gonna be one of the tools. So let's jump over into that right now and just segue. So here's what I do. When I am creating thumbnails or photos or images or Eventbrite flyers or any of that stuff, I do it within chat. It's getting better every day. It still hasn't figured out how to make a duplicate copy of me. We're getting there though. But what I have trained it to do is create, say, a thumbnail that looks like this, and at least get it to the point where I have the text and the images proper, but then maybe I wanna put myself within that image. The way we do that, at least the way that I do it, is I then download it into Canva. So let me see, I know this image has been sitting here for a while. I now can download this image out of ChatGPT and bring it on my computer. How I do this is then if I want to tweak it slightly, I use Canva.com, which it looks like most of us are ready to start hands and we're using Canva. And within Canva, the way I operate with my social media side of things is I have different designs that I work within, whether it's Instagram thumbnails, YouTube thumbnails, Eventbrite cover images, right? Slide decks, invoices, flyers, PDFs. And I work within those because they're already pre-formatted for me. And that's how my style has worked with doing all of these. So I typically scroll down to my template. I've got my next one in line right here. And what I do is I bring in my ChatGPT image and I just drag it into Canva, all right? And then I have it take over the thumbnail section, okay? Fit there. But here's the problem is that this image is currently flattened, all right? So anyone working Photoshop back in the day, right? Flattened images, all that, lasso tool, back when it was a lot harder to do anything with images and it took hours on hours. And now we have AI to do it so darn quickly. When you click on any image within Canva, it's not very obvious, but top left corner, there's that edit button. Do you guys see that? Edit, okay? When you click on edit, it is now going to open up what's called the Magic Studio over here on the left-hand side. And there's some really, really cool features within Canva that you can apply. For example, remove the background. You can quickly magic erase any section of the image. You can grab text. So like I said, this image is flattened right now, but I could use the grab text model and I could actually pull out this text if I wanted to change it, if I wanted to tweak the font or the style or the size. It will literally pull this out, try to keep that current font and style in place, and then allow me to tweak it. So look at this. Now I can move this, right, before it was flattened. The other thing that I like to do is I like to also go back into the Magic Studio and I like to use the option that says Magic Grab, okay? And Magic Grab is where you can grab any item or object out of that flattened image. So what do? I grab the AI guy that's supposed to look like me that doesn't look like me, grab it, and then delete it, and then I just replace that with my headshot, right? So I just delete that, right? They try to use AI to fill in the backdrop. Obviously, that's not perfect. And then I would just take, say, some sort of headshot of me and then just drag it in there, right? Oops, not like that. And then replace it. So what that looks like, let me go back here, is I take this, undo, grab this image. There's a goofy photo of me doing a thumbs up, cool. And then I just replace that in there as the covered photo, all right? Cool? Magic Studio, Canva, very, very helpful. Flyers, images, any of that sort. I like to leverage ChatGPT to get me almost there, then complete it in Canva. For what it's worth, Canva they're trying to keep up. They've released a ton of other AI features within Canva, teach it in a whole separate class. Still, honestly though, I found personally, I like using it in my preferred large language model, which is ChatGPT, and then just finish it in Canva. Okay, moving on, back to ChatGPT, here we go. So that's the image creation section. Next step down, we're gonna skip over Codex, we're gonna Sora. If you pay for $20 a month plus for ChatGPT, you have access to Sora. What is Sora? Sora uses AI to create images or video using AI. You can plug in a text prompt, you can upload an image, and it will automatically do its best to curate what you want, all right? How does this apply to you in real estate? Well, again, if you want to create some sort of image or something for a flyer or a thumbnail or whatnot, you could do that within Sora. Video, if anyone's doing anything with video, and maybe you needed like B-roll footage for something, whether it's a listing video or an event you're promoting or something, you can use Sora to quickly create that video clip. And the reason why I think this works well is because these are quick clips, right? 10 seconds, 5 seconds or less that you're implementing. And AI has gotten so good to the point where, yes, it's not exactly perfect, but it's close enough where if you only show that video clip for 3 to 4 seconds, people can't tell anyway. How am I using this? I'll give you an example. Image creation, thumbnail creation, any sort of video content. If I need B-roll footage, here's a shot. I tried to create a golf ball flying in the air, golf shots to promote our golf tournament event. Other events that I've done, grand opening party, we opened up our Colorado Springs office and we were throwing a party. And we wanted to create the feel of what this party would feel like if you attended. because we're gonna have taco trucks and ice cream and live music. So I use Sora to help kind of create that feel of those videos within what I wanted it to look like, right? So you can see here a ton of different clips that were created. And all I do down here is I just describe my image, and then it starts to go to work and create that for me. All right. Other thing I want to show you on Sora is down here, you can also upload images. All right. So now you can take an image, a lot of different AI platforms are doing this, and it can come to life, right? So for example, this was literally a screenshot on Google Maps of the front of our office. Like that's how low quality I was working with. And I uploaded that image in here. And I said, hey, try to bring this to life. Maybe do like a time lapse or try to show off the building or something. And this is AI's attempt at trying to take that image and turn it into a video that you could use for a couple seconds. All right. That's Sora. Any questions so far? Moving on. Left-hand side, GPTs. All right. There are a ton of GPTs within here. What is a GPT? It's essentially a pre-programmed tool that you can use to your advantage to complete some sort of tasks. You can come in here and see all of the most popular GPTs that might be helpful for you, right? For different objectives that you may have. You can also create your own GPTs, which we're going to talk about here in just a minute. All right. GPTs on the left-hand side. You can see here, I've got 2 GPTs sitting up here. One of them is labeled Done With You Blog Writer that someone else created, Jason Pantana, huge shout out to him, that will help you create blogs that are optimized SEO specific to real estate, to your market, that you can have create for you on autopilot. A GPT, the way I break it down is it's basically taking a prompt and having it already created for you that you utilize over and over again. So let's talk about prompts, all right? What is a prompt? A prompt is essentially a pre-written piece of information that you can copy and paste into your chosen large language model that will basically get you from point A to point Z. For example, this is a Google Drive folder of a variety of different prompts that I have either acquired or created at the beginning of this year. I'm going to give you all access to these prompts. Examples of prompts. Anything in here that might be valuable. Let me go into this one, analyzing MLS data. I have prompts in here that you can use. For example, this one, which you could copy and paste in and leverage MLS data to give you custom market reports on any piece of data that you want, whether it's monthly, weekly, etc. I've got prompts in here that you can leverage. Here's one for a listing appointment, where if you follow these instructions, it will analyze the listing, analyze the subdivision or the area that you want to apply to, and create a whole report for you on how you will sell this property and how you will get it sold, who's that buyer, what does that all look like? It's going to analyze the market for you. All right. So these are prompts, right? Someone already did the work, whether it was me or someone else. You just use it, copy and paste it, and apply it. Getting back to ChatGPT, left-hand side. Other GPTs. Here's one. This one's in that folder if you want it. MLS photo description generator. Please take note that you can not only type, of course, into your chosen large language model, but you can also upload images, documents, spreadsheets, content that will then can be read because AI can read it. So the common response I get when I say, how are you using AI? It's to write listing descriptions. Well, I've got a listing description prompt that you can take out of that folder, and you just literally upload images of your listing, choose 10, and then it will write the listing description for you and follow all best practices and make sure it doesn't break any of the rules. So moving forward, that's GPTs. Next below that is projects. And below projects is going to be your chat history, right? So let's talk about projects. Projects similar to ChatGPT in the sense that you can create a new project and name it. And a project also will have a prompt within it. But I'd say the main key difference between a project and a GPT is that a project is ever evolving and customizable, and you can update it and have it learn and improve it as you make tweaks to it. versus a GPT, once it's kind of coded with the prompt, it will never deviate off of those instructions, and it will always give you the same response to the instructions given to it. Also, GPTs can be shared, whereas projects cannot be shared. I like to think of projects as folders. I find myself personally creating more projects than I do GPTs. And you can see within this project, for example, up on the screen, you can see past chats that are within this project. So let's give some ideas on how you could create GPTs and/or projects. This one right here is a perfect example. Who's posting content to social media and using AI to help them write it? Chunk of us. This right here is called the Write Like Me social media post project. And basically what it says, again, prompt is in that folder, which you all will have access to, is explains that, hey, be an expert on all these things, social media. This is how I want it written. But the key point here on why this is going to be so good and curated to you, if you do it this way, is you have the instructions which are provided for you, but then you upload content that you have either written or spoken so that the AI can learn how you speak, how you write, how you talk, and then output content that is going to be written the way you speak and write and talk. So for example, whether that is articles, blog posts, or even better, you've got video content, you've got video transcripts. These, for example, are video transcripts that the AI can analyze, figure out my flow, speak, all that. So then if I want to get a social media post or a blog post, or, right, I go through this pretty extensively in our video class tomorrow, or create video scripts that are written and sound like me, it's gonna flow like you, all right? So you just have to train these things. I also talked about earlier efficiency and outsourcing. This is how we outsource. If you have an assistant or a virtual assistant, this is how I am outsourcing to them. So for example, you can see within here past chats that my virtual assistant is basically just taking over and having it create all of the content for me, all right? So she creates the thumbnail, she creates the social media content, she just has to input the information and then it's gonna sound like me. That was my biggest fear personally, outsourcing stuff, was how is someone going to replicate me? This I found has been the solution to get it pretty darn close. Next up, other ideas on what you could use projects or GPTs for. Again, just think about what are those common tasks you're doing daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, whatever that is, whether it's market reports, MLS listing description generator, creating a thumbnail. I've got a thumbnail generator in here, video script generator, blog generator, list goes on, all right? So all we're doing is we're just backing up. We're just taking prompts that either you curate or if you want, steal them from me. I don't care, they're all in here. Copying and paste them into ChatGPT so that it's a curated project or GPT that you use on repeat. All right? Silence. Okay. All right. How are we feeling? Good? You guys knew that? All right. Okay, moving on. What am I talking about next? HeyGen. Who here, has anyone here messed around with AI video cloning? I've been talking about this in past classes extensively. Last time I taught this class in this room, I was using CapCut to clone myself. This was Q1 2025. Came out terrible. Didn't sound like me, kind of looked like me, but it was bad. Yesterday, I took it upon myself to use an AI program called HeyGen. Anyone use this? Heard of it? Using it?
I haven't.
Not yet.
Watched videos on it.
Okay. So from my perspective, HeyGen is the best video cloning out there that I've seen so far. This is what it looks like. The way it operates is you create a HeyGen account and then you feed it 5 to 10 minutes of video of yourself just randomly talking about anything. And then it trains off of that video of you and it does its best to clone your voice and then your movements, all right? I'll give you an example of something I created yesterday. Not bad. What I've learned from doing this and going down the rabbit hole of spending hours on this and tweaking it is your sample video that you feed it has to be done in a specific way to get it really, really good. But here's something that I had it create for me that I think is not bad. This is something I made yesterday. Let's see if you guys can hear this audio. Thanks for joining me today for my AI class today. I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite AI tools right now that are helping me become more efficient in my daily life. And I hope some of these will help you as well. My goal is for you to leave this class and take away 1 or 2 things that you can implement to help you with your business. One thing you can't see here is there's a little bit of lag. The lips are a little bit off on the screen, but they're synced on here to the audio. Not bad, right? Getting there. I still have to fine tune it. Now, here's where I'm going with this. What can you do with this? There are agents in other markets, such as, I don't know if you follow Katie Day, who are using this extensively to create a ton of content on YouTube, on their social channels. She puts out a ton of content, but I'm in this AI mastermind group with her and a bunch of other agents. This is a clone of her. If you were to follow her at all, this is pretty good. This is how she sounds and looks. And she's putting out a ton of short form and long form content using her HeyGen clone to, again, just curate content. Because once you get it dialed in and good, now you use AI, such as ChatGPT, to curate scripts, and you just feed it the scripts, and then it creates that video of that avatar of yourself, all right? So this is how you put out a lot of video content.
One of the craziest videos I've seen about HeyGen was somebody was able to embed a ChatGPT like chatbot into their own website through some like third-party tool or whatever, and then they used the video to connect it. So whenever somebody had a question, they could like live interact, quote unquote.
That's cool.
With the agent.
That's cool and creepy, but all the things, right? It's here, it's happening. Agents are doing it in markets. People are getting after this, right? The thought process here, like the agents already tackling this, and some of the AI people who are teaching this, is getting back to what I said earlier, is how do we start taking over more and more online with SEO and YouTube and ChatGPT and popping up? If you can have your AI clone of you put out a ton of SEO optimized content, right? Again, you do it or you have someone else do it for you. You can now create a ton of content, start to take over certain keywords, right, that you want to dominate in the real estate market. And that's what these agents are trying to do. So that's the concept here, all right? Moving forward after HeyGen, here's what I found. This is the original HeyGen recording. What I changed is the audio. It gets the video right, but the audio is not dialed in my opinion. So what I found is we use another AI program and we connect them, and it's called ElevenLabs. Has anyone tried or heard of ElevenLabs? ElevenLabs is the best voice cloning AI out there that I've come across. So let me play you a little clip here, if it lets me. In Apple Music, come on. Want to know the best AI tools real estate agents should be using right now? First up, ChatGPT. It's a must-have for writing listing descriptions, emails, and social media posts. Then there's HeyGen for video cloning. Create professional videos without needing to be on camera every time. Pair that with ElevenLabs for voice cloning, so your videos still sound just like you. Again, not bad. In the settings, they let you tweak the speed, right? You can kind of tweak it a little bit. I haven't messed with it that much, but you can dial it in again as well, and you connect those two together. So ElevenLabs is used for voice cloning. HeyGen is used for video avatar cloning, okay? If you want to go down that road. Moving on, what's next? ElevenLabs, there it is. What does this look like? I'm going to show you this behind the scenes, by the way. This is the ElevenLabs platform. What ElevenLabs need, here's the big hurdle on this that I've learned, is to truly get like a good cloned voice. They say at least 30 minutes is just the starting point. Then 1 hour of audio is going to make it much better. But they said, really, you have to feed this thing like 2 hours of your voice speaking. And it's just your voice. So that's the hard hurdle to get over with this. Mine is trained off of about 50 minutes of me speaking. And that was not bad, right? Within it, you can tweak it though, right? That was that recording that you heard. You can have it type out and do anything you want. visit milehighTitleGuide.com and join my. But for example, I speak faster than that. I could speed it up over here. I could tweak the stability. I can change the style and exaggerate if I wanted to, right? To kind of dial it in. But ElevenLabs is what we use for the audio. What's up, man?
What about?
Good to see you. Back at it. All right, moving on.
So did you take the audio from ElevenLabs and lay it over that video?
Exactly. Because the out of the box, here's the out of the box HeyGen video. Thanks for joining me today for my AI class today. I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite AI tools right now that are helping me become more efficient in my daily life. It's a little bit robotic. So what you do is you connect ElevenLabs with HeyGen to get that tweaked, finalized voice.
Hey, Jared.
Yep.
Does it matter what the background is for this when you're doing that initial video?
Good question. Turns out it does. It does if you're not paying for the upgraded version. Yeah, I shot that real quick in obviously not a very attractive background. And what I learned is you can remove that background, which is what I'm going to do. I found out I got to upgrade. It's like another $10 a month, fine. But what I learned is, yeah, in a perfect world, you shoot this with a good background. You got to have good lighting, 4K camera, good audio. You got to do all that stuff. Otherwise, right, garbage in, garbage out. All right. What I found, it's pretty cool. Actually, I talked to another agent. It's good. I think there's a huge potential right now for the agents that want to do this. Is there should be a video company that just offers this to anyone in whatever business, sales, whatever, and just creates that opportunity where they show up and record and have it done. Because I did learn it's a bit of a learning curve getting this thing tweaked and perfect. Otherwise, it's not going to come out very good. So the answer is yes, if you want to use that backdrop. Otherwise, what you can do is you can do the remove background, but obviously then you have to put one of their backgrounds behind it, which may or may not look good. The other thing that they can do, I haven't done it yet, I saw other people do it online, is obviously I'm wearing this, and if I'm putting out, say, 20 AI videos a month wearing the same thing, that's going to get old. They have another option. I haven't messed with it yet, but you can upload 10 to 20 images of yourself in different outfits, and then it uses AI to basically take this video and then change your outfit for you. So pretty cool.
If you wanted to shoot a video of a specific like listing or something, can you just shoot the video without you in it and then put you over top of the video? So like the opposite of removing the background?
Shoot the video without you in it and then put you over it?
Yeah, or pictures or whatever.
I don't see why not. Yeah. Yeah, and they have a whole editing app within here, within projects. You can create a video, choose landscape, portrait, right? And they've got tools within here, right? You can see here's one without the background and all that. And then to that question, this is where we then bring in that voice that you connect through an API key from ElevenLabs, so it all connects together. For those of you, anyone messed with, I'm blanking on the name. There's another software out there that's pretty good, Captions. If you want to mess around with like a quick cloning software that's pretty like low effort and you want to try this, check out the Captions app. All right, moving on. Base 44. Okay, we got a few. Has anyone heard of any of these? There's Base 44, there's Lovable, there's Emergent. These are like the 3 AI, they call it app building, website building softwares out there. I've messed around with a few of them, one of them being Lovable and one of them being Base 44. What this does, guys, is if you want any sort of website quickly created, Base 44, you can go in, sign up, create a free account. You just describe to it what you want it to be, and it just builds it for you, right? It's like one of the fastest growing AI software tools out there right now. Wix just purchased them. And what this looks like, let's take a look. Let me go back to my workspace. I just describe what I want within here, and then it builds it. And I've been messing around with this for a little bit, but here's where I'm going with this is if you wanted a new website, if you wanted a property listing website, like a curated one-page website, if you wanted some sort of landing page, maybe you're generating leads, this is a great solution. Sometimes I'm sitting out with agents and I'm helping them run Google ads. And the thing with Google ads, with certain types of ads, you have to drive them to a website to fill out a form. This solves that problem instantly where you can have it. Let's give a round of applause for Andrew Caldwell, Chicago title, driving across the country to get us some Costco's pizza.
If you're an executive member or business member, Oscar, you go in the hour.
Is that you?
Which I didn't know that.
Guys, we got pizza. We'll eat it after this. I'm gonna keep moving here just for the sake of time. All right. But let's build a website real quick, right? Who's got a website they want built? Any ideas? Landing page. See, we got a lead magnet they're giving away. Something. Silence. All right. Hey, I'm a real estate agent in Denver, Colorado, and I'm running Google ads, and I want to drive these leads to a landing page where I'm going to offer them with a free home evaluation on their property. I want you to be an expert with 25 years of building landing pages and understanding marketing and advertising. I want you to create this landing page. I want it to be sleek, modern, simple, but be attractive to the point that these leads land here and they want to fill out the information. I want the lead form to have first name, last name, email address, phone number, and property address. These all have to be required fields. And then after, I'm going to have those leads, once they're filled out, I'm going to connect them to my email drip in my CRM to then be able to follow up with them. Build this landing page. It's thinking. But once that pops in there, or if it doesn't pop in there, let's see. Copy. Paste. Let's have that go to work. Okay, we'll come back to this, all right? It's gonna take a few minutes. That's base 44. Next up, Gamma. All right, Gamma, hands down, I know I've talked about it with some of you. Gamma, hands down, is one of my favorite top 3 AIs right now. And what Gamma does is it's called Gamma.app. You can sign up for free, try it out. But the way I describe Gamma is it allows you to create visually appealing content. Think presentations, PDF documents, social media content, landing web pages, landing sites. And it all does it with AI, and it makes it visually appealing. So what this looks like, for example, is this presentation that I'm giving you right now was built last night on Gamma. Gamma made this in a minute, all right? Other examples of what Gamma does. Let's go back here. It can create reports. It can take this content that I've had created in ChatGPT and then spit it out. So for the longest time earlier this year, I was struggling with creating these market reports and these different prompts that were supposed to be helpful for real estate agents, because ChatGPT would spit out all of the data that might look like this, right? But as you may or may not know, if you try to download this as a document, it doesn't look very visually appealing. So I found the next step is to copy and paste anything you have created out of ChatGPT and paste it into Gamma, all right? So let me give you an example of how this works. Here's that data I was sharing earlier on migration into and out of Denver, Colorado, all right? This obviously isn't very exciting to read and digest. If I copy and paste this out of ChatGPT and then I go over into Gamma, get rid of these, get rid of these, it's going to ask me a few questions. The first question that it asks me is, what do I want to create? And how do I want to create it? I'm going to paste in text. You can paste in text, you can generate content using their AI, which I've never tried, or you could import files or upload documents. I always do paste in text. I then paste in what ChatGPT gave me, and I put it, well, that's not good. I put it right there. Fix that, maybe. We won't touch the table. Up top, you can choose what kind of output do you want. Do you want presentation, web page, PDF document, or a social media swipeable post, all right? So if anyone's doing like carousel posts or images, Gamma can create that for you, all right? What does that look like? I'll give you an example. I posted one of these that was instantly created through Gamma right here. I teach this in the other class on how to take the MLS data and run stats and reports. But this was a Gamma output. Denver housing market for July, where I just took the MLS data for July, had AI analyze it using a prompt, and then had Gamma create this swipeable, shareable carousel infographic that was posted to Instagram. All right, so that's a social media post example. All right, let's do a PDF document. All right, so if I go into Gamma, I just paste in all of my text. I then scroll down to the bottom. It then asks you, what do you want to do with this content? Typically, most of the time, I want to generate from notes or an outline and turn rough ideas or bullet points into beautiful content. I then click Continue to Prompt Editor. On the next screen, it's then going to ask me how much detail do I want. You have to ask yourself, who is this for, who are you presenting it to, and how detail-oriented are they? Because you can have it either be minimal at level 1, or at level 4, you can have it be incredibly extensive, where it's almost, in my opinion, overkill. All right? Let's just say detailed to show you what that looks like. That's option 3. You can then fill in, who is this for? 50-50 chance it gets this right using AI. You might have to tweak it. And then your last step is to choose the theme and color scheme that you want. They've got anything from light to dark to professional to colorful. You choose you. If you pay for the paid version of Gamma, you can create your own color scheme, logo, have all that as a template as well. All right? Let's just pretend I want to do whatever. One of these, sure, let's go with this. Simple, black and white, okay, select theme. Next step is it's going to ask you, how do you want this information broken up? And what they call them are cards, but really cards are just pages, all right? The free version, you can have up to 8 cards. So over here, I could click card by card and have it try to break it up for me, or just say, hey, I want 10 cards on this information, and I'm going to generate it. It is now going to take AI, take this text, do its best to break this up into individual pages, fill in anything it can, whether it's infographics, images, charts, and use AI to build all of this out to this specific theme and have it look more visually appealing. All right? So here it is going to work. It's probably going to add some images here in a minute and curate it. Here's what's fun about this. If you don't like it, you can click a button and have it redo it or change it or delete it, all right? I find myself, like, normally you guys saw in Canva, I had a bunch of Canva presentations. Now I'm just creating presentations using Gamma because it's so fast and quick. So the process here is to leverage your large language models such as ChatGPT and then have Gamma create the visually appealing side behind it. Interesting choice of images. It's a lot. This is cool. So here's an example on this chart. Maybe I don't like this chart. I could change it instantly, right? Do I want pie, donut, line, column, bar? If I wanted to add an image, maybe this isn't visually appealing enough. Any of these pages, you can click edit with AI, all right? Make longer, make shorter, translate, simplify language, be more specific, make this more visual. And then it's just gonna redo this whole page and add in this example, add an image. Bless you, right? So this is what this would look like, okay? Demographics, characteristics, still writing. Once it's done, obviously read it, make sure it's accurate and you like it, okay? It should be working off of your previous content that you got from chat. But then you can download it. You can export it as anything, PDF, PowerPoint, Google Slide, images. You can share it, right, with someone else. And that's how we're using Gamma. So examples of how Gamma is being used, let me show you. If I go to Gamma.app, as far as I'm aware, it's not an app, by the way, it's just a website. But within Gamma.app, whether I want to run a report on where people are moving to and from, or a presentation, or in our other class, we dive into analyzing your listing and why it isn't selling and providing specific information on comparable sales and why they sold. Use Gamma to instantly create and curate that information or that presentation that you could share with the seller, all right? Whether you're doing a listing, a report, or analysis, again, Gamma can do all of this. So here are examples of things that I've created in Gamma that you can apply, all right? So sky's the limit. Here's the missing piece that I want to connect the dots on. It is so darn fast and easy now to create anything you want in this day and age with AI. Because if you just have the idea or the plan of action, you can use, say, for example, ChatGPT to do all of the research and create what that is. For example, to its simplest form, a home seller's guide on selling in Cherry Creek North, right? And have it curated. Then you could use Gamma, copy and paste that text into Gamma, and then Gamma is going to create that website or PDF or presentation for you that you can then share, right? It opens up the door to lead magnets and so many resources that you can now just have at your disposal, okay? Getting back to ChatGPT, because I missed this, within ChatGPT, just want you all to know this is here. Right next to ChatGPT, there's a few buttons. First one is dictate, where you can just talk, and then it's going to plug those words into what you just said, right? On average, humans speak 4 to 5 times faster than they type. We're going to talk about this here in just a minute. But I would highly encourage you to try out the dictation button to save yourself time, all right? Left-hand side is the plus button right here, where you can connect it to your Google Drive. You can upload photos, files, anything. Don't forget about spreadsheets that you need to have fixed, images, all that. But down here, they've added some stuff. First one is agent mode. They just added this recently, earlier this month. If you have a Plus account, you might have access to agent mode. What it is it's, you give it a task and it has the ability to essentially, you can see it. It shows like basically a desktop computer where it is working and it is basically completing a task for you. So for example, I've just started messing with this. I had it log in into RE Colorado. I then had it log in to, what was it, Spark, what's it called, where you pull the showing data? I had to log in and start extracting showing data on autopilot and then run a report for me on all of the showings in Denver Metro, right? That's the kind of stuff that agent can do for you on autopilot, all right? That is a little bit more advanced. I'll have more info next time I teach this class. But one that I do want to have you all be aware of, because some people don't know it's here, is deep research, all right? So if you are gonna run any sort of like report, I would recommend using deep research. You get a few credits on them each month for free, more credits with the Plus version. But that is basically where chat is going to work a lot harder. It's going to source a lot of more information. It's probably gonna take 10, 20, 30 minutes to complete the task for you and give you a much more detailed, much more accurate answer that you can use. So how are we using deep research? I ran deep research on that migration trend. That way everything is sourced, everything is of course accurate. Agents are using this to analyze maybe a listing that hasn't sold and have it analyze, how do we sell this? Who's the ideal buyer? Where are they? How do we market to them? And then it will build out, 5, 10, 15-page report, okay? So that's how you can leverage this to your advantage. Highly recommend trying deep research. When you're using just AI in general, I think it does its best to give you the limited amount of effort. So just like a couple of tips here, if I'm writing and asking something that I've never asked before, first thing I always do is I ask it, hey, this is what I want you to do for me. What questions do you have for me in order to give me the best result possible? And that's probably gonna give me 10 questions that I didn't think of, and then I give those answers, all right? Also too, sometimes I don't let it fall short. I say, hey, give me 5 different versions of ad copy or social media posts for this social media topic. That way I can choose the best one versus it just giving me one, it gives me 5. Other ways you could use deep research that I've helped agents do it. I've had it pull and scrape the internet for lists. One agent wanted a list of event organizers and event planners in the state of Colorado, and I asked it to pull like 200. It pulled names, phone numbers, websites, email addresses, all of that, and then I could download it out of chat into a spreadsheet, all right? So again, I'm just trying to expand your mind on where you can take this, how you can apply it in your daily lives, whether it's professional or personal. Okay, I know we're coming up on an hour here. I'm almost done. Hang with me. That's Gamma. We already talked about Canva. Whisperflow. This is the other one in my top 3. It'd be ChatGPT, Gamma, and Whisperflow. I am obsessed with this, all right? Whisperflow, what is it? It is voice dictation. Like I said earlier, most of us speak faster than we type, right? Let's be more efficient with our day-to-day lives. Who here uses voice dictation on their phone, right? Most of us, whether it's texts, voice notes, writing emails, etc. Siri, not very good in my opinion. This is WhisperFlow, and this is tremendously better. This is an app, you can download it. You can download it to your computer. If you have an Apple computer, you can download it to your phone, all right? It's very good because what you find after you start to use it for a while is it is going to listen to what you say and speak, and then it is going to formulate that into a paragraph or bullet points or however you talk, and it will decide for you. It will also listen to what you say, and if you stumble, you say or it won't put that into the text. Let me give you an example. So once you have it downloaded, it's an app that sits on your computer like this right here. And what you use is you just use a key on your keyboard. It's the function key. And then you just speak, right? So I could say, hey everyone, thank you so much for joining me today for the AI class at Guide Real Estate. There are a few things that I wanted to follow up with all of you on. One, here is my Chat GPT prompts folder for you all to have access to. 2, check out WhisperFlow AI for voice dictation. 3, check out Gamma.app to create visuals with AI. Reach out with you if you have any questions, and have a great day. Okay, so let's see what it spits out. See how it just formatted it out like that? Took out the ums. Exactly. I kind of stumbled at the end and it fixed it. Question.
Yeah, do you know if it works with different languages or it's just speaks Arabic?
Let's ask. Does WhisperFlow AI work with different languages? Let's see what Google got. Yep, 100 languages. Yep. Pretty darn good though, right? So even just there for writing emails, again, anything you want. You can also do it on your phone as well. Because in my opinion, Siri, they got a lot of work to improve that voice dictation and it messes up a lot. I found that it will spell names right. It uses AI and it's like reading the email and it knows how to spell that intricate name that isn't normally spelled that way. All right? Highly recommend WhisperFlow. I think, is that everything? Okay, one more. 1103, bear with me. Plod, okay? This is Plod. I first learned about this from a top agent out in Phoenix. She did a presentation earlier this year. This is Plod. What it is it is a device. You can get it as a wearable device. You can get it as a device that you can stick onto your phone. But it is essentially a device that you can use to record your notes, your meetings, whatever you want. And it will use AI to record everything, but then curate any sort of follow-up or notes or mind map or information or key details of that recording. So for example, maybe you sit down with, I don't know, a seller, a listing presentation, and she says she'll go into meetings and she'll just explain to them, hey, like, I want to get all the information correct. I don't want to miss anything, and I want to have key points to follow up with you on this. So if it's okay with you, I'm going to record this. That way I can have everything dialed in for when we move forward. And she's like, 9 out of 10 times, they don't have a problem with it, right? So again, you decide if you want this, but I thought it was pretty cool because now you're taking these recordings and now using AI, you can have it create a follow-up email. You can have it create an action plan on next steps. You can have it create anything you want off of that recorded audio, all right? It can even, if it's attached to your phone, she said it can pick up, phone calls, etc. She said from a CYA standpoint, it could be helpful for you if someone, says you did something that you didn't, whatever. But again, this is one more tool. I just want you to know that it's out there. It's called Plod, all right? All-in cost to get the device and the plan, it's about $250 for the year. No? Just stretch it. All right. I showed you Sora. That's it. Bring it all together. Guys, thanks for hanging with me. You all were incredibly quiet, so I don't know what that means. Question.
Did we see the base 44 yet? What that popped out?
Thank you. Let's see. Discover your home's true value. Get an accurate professional home valuation from Denver's most trusted real estate advisor. Right? Obviously, it's filling in fictitious information. We did this really fast. Get your home valuation, trusted by blank, right? Get started today, right? Of course, I gave it a very limited prompt. If I were to dial into this further, I'd probably use ChatGPT. I'd say, hey, I'm using base 44 to make this website. This is what I want. And dial in that prompt and spit it out. Yep. Not bad, though. That was it, base 44.
What happens when you hit publish?
When you hit publish, it will host it on their website that you can then actually have available, right, as a live domain. You can, of course, they get you to upgrade, right? You can upgrade, you can connect it to your domain or subdomain and have it all hooked in. Yeah.
So I was, hopefully this is a quick question, but have you noticed like a surge of interaction or, social media benefit or anything, or is it mostly just about synthesizing so you don't have to spend so much time producing content?
What was the question?
Oh yeah, no worries. Like when you're using all of these tools, is it mostly just to save you time, or do you feel like you've actually gotten like more engagement and more, presence on your website or whatever the case may be? Like, is there a numbers benefit,
Yeah.
or is it just saving you time?
Great question. Are these AI tools saving me time? 100%. I'd say that's number one. It's saving me time. It's allowing me to be more efficient. It's allowing me to outsource all those tasks that are just not my best use of time. Engagement, the answer would be yes. Like, for example, I was just looking at Facebook today. It said, because I've been posting consistently, hey, we're going to expand your audience that you will now organically reach because you've been posting consistently, because that's, of course, what these platforms want, right? Whether it's me in title insurance sales or you all in real estate, right? We have to wear a lot of hats and it's exhausting. So the fact that now I've got AI dialed in where the virtual assistant just handles all of that social media side of things and the blogging, right? And all of that content creation, it takes off of my plate so then I can go out and do things where, where I can spend my time better. So I guess it's a two-part answer, yeah. But at the end of the day, save time, efficiency, all that. Guys, thank you for hanging out with me today. You will have access to all these prompts. Highly recommend getting in here, checking it out. At the very least, I'd say one key takeaway is going to be customizing ChatGPT if you're using ChatGPT. 2, log in here, check out these prompts. You might want to mess with this one, the Write Like Me prompt, where you can curate it to write like you and customize your ChatGPT. That way it's going to sound like you. You're not constantly tweaking it. And if you have any questions, I know that was a lot. That was, of course, the goal of this class today. Please reach out to me. I'll be teaching a ton of other classes and events coming up later this month, and of course every month, doing about 8 to 10 of these. And if you want help with any of this, reach out to me. If you want help with social media marketing, etc., if you got listing sittings, you need ideas on how to get those sold or how to get those in front of the right eyeballs, we'll love to talk to you. And hopefully you took something away from this class. The last thing I want you to do is just blank stare at me like you all are right now. Like, take one thing away and implement. I'll keep doing these. They're going to continue to evolve, right? So if you want to come back, it's always going to be new material, all right?